Automakers are constantly coming out with new car options and new innovative technology that proliferates throughout the entire auto industry, ranging from the top-of-the-line Mercedes S-Class all the way down to a common car like the Chevy Cruze. So now when you go to the dealership, it can be kind of a daunting task to pick out what options you want on your car. I mean, in the past, it was very basic, but now you get all these fancy terms with all this new safety technology, the new luxury features, and sometimes they're packaged in weird, confusing ways. So now, in this video, I want to talk about 6 of the best new car features available today. First up is the digital dash. I mean, a while back, cars started coming with at least a small screen on them that was digital. It could be reconfigurable with, you could show the speed, you could show your fuel economy, trip details, etc. And now slowly, cars are now coming with just a full digital display. Now, for example, this Volvo XC90 I'm driving right now, nothing is analog. It is one big screen. I've got the speedometer on the left side, a tachometer slash hybrid energy display meter on the right side. I can have it show me my trip details. It has cool graphics. Everything is now updatable and changeable. It's no longer a fixed analog, simply tachometer, speedometer, odometer. These are beautiful. Look at the new Audi A4, the new R8, that screen. Oh my gosh, that entire dash can be made into the navigation map. It's just absolutely mind-blowing how beautiful these things are. And I truly think they do make the car interior much better. It is a piece of technology that, when implemented correctly, makes a car feel much more upscale, and it can also be used in performance ways too. For example, when the Lexus LFA came out, they had to go to a digital tachometer because that engine revved so quickly, the analog tachometer was unable to keep up with it. Now you're getting into regular level cars that also have digital displays, and there are a couple of downsides to this feature though. Because of the fact that it's always constantly backlit and lit up, sometimes people forget to turn their headlights on. It's a thing. I'm noticing recently, there's been a couple times when I'm driving at night and there's cars going towards me without their headlights on, and because in the past you would kind of get that little thing, it's like, oh, I need to turn my headlights on, because if you don't turn them on, you can't read your speedo or tach or anything because that won't light up. Now with a digital display, they're constantly always lit up. Another thing is, it could be slightly distracting because you're constantly looking at it. There's so much information and a lot of different things going on. But overall, I think that it is one of the coolest features available on a car today. Next up, we have auto high beams. So cars have always had high beams pretty much, but auto high beams is a new feature where the vehicle uses camera sensors, mainly the camera, to automatically determine whether or not you can run high beams or not. So it's a safety feature and a convenience feature. Safety wise, you can see the road much better. I mean, I love newer cars with the upgraded LED headlights. If you compare it to an older car with old headlights, I mean, some of them you can't even see out of them. You might as well be using a candle for illumination. It's horrible. Now with a modern, like all the luxury cars, even Fords and Chevys, the upgraded headlights with auto high beam, I mean, the safety is so much better. You're driving at night, there's no cars coming towards you, bang, headlights, flick on the auto high beams immediately, and then a car rounds the corner, it'll turn it off automatically, it turns it back on. Some cars have the feature where it'll illuminate highway signs, exit signs, and stuff like that, road signs. It'll flick the high beams on to show those. Again, this is all dependent upon the crazy electronic sensors and computers and the cameras in the vehicle that can allow it to do this type of thing. Execution wise, some cars do it different with varying degrees of success. I've been in some cars where the auto high beam doesn't always turn off very quickly, so you might be blinding people coming towards you. That can be solved with the newest generation of headlights. A lot of cars are coming with laser headlights. The BMW i8 is one example. They finally legalized that for the new R8, and essentially a laser gets shined through a little crystal diode thing and it projects the light out. And the coolest thing is it's all variable controllable depending on what part you want illuminated or not, which means you can have your high beams on like all the time, and it curves the light around certain cars coming towards you, cars in front of you, so you don't blind people. That is some really, really cool technology. Again, just in summary, I mean, auto high beams, what downside is you turn your headlights on auto, turn the high beams on, and let's just say you're at a little deserted 2-lane road late at night, there are no street lights, high beams flick on, you can see so far, watch out for obstacles, for deer, whatever's going on. Great feature in a new car. Next up, we have 360-degree camera view. So this is more of just kind of a cool feature to have. In my opinion, I like it when a car is equipped with it. It is helpful in certain situations. It's also kind of fun to show off because the way it works, a lot of people have asked when I've shown them a car that has 360 view when I'm parking, they're like, whoa, How is that happening? Is there a drone flying overhead? Is that a satellite feed? No, the way it works is it uses cameras in the front and the back of the vehicle, obviously, and then usually there's two small fisheye lenses that will be placed on the bottom side of the side view mirrors. That enables the computer in the car to stitch together an entire view of the car from overhead. They will then overlay a picture of the car on there, so you have a frame of reference. Really helpful when you're parking into a regular space. You can just see where the lines are. Sometimes, like if your mirrors can't get down that low, you need to rotate them. It's really convenient. When you're parallel parking, you can see where your car is in reference to others, backing out of a garage, avoiding obstacles. I mean, in a bigger vehicle like this is an SUV, it is sometimes hard to see the corners of the car. With the cameras, I mean, on the Volvo, it's pretty cool. You can actually go to the camera and select which part. I'm just sitting at a red light right now. I'm gonna look behind me. Click this camera, I can see the Escape sitting behind me. Go back, I can go back to 360 view, the side camera. It's amazing, this feature. I remember the first time I actually ever saw it, we were in a Infinity, reviewing an Infinity. I'm like, whoa, that is pretty cool. And actually, again, I didn't understand how it worked. I'm like, how is that possible? Because it looked like there was a drone overhead flying, showing me a live feed of what my car was doing. But that is a feature available on lots of cars now. And if you can get it, and it's part of a cool package, usually they bundle with some sort of technology package with the blind spot warning, stuff like that. Pretty cool to have. This next one is pretty much widely available on almost every level of vehicle. And it is, I would say it's a luxury. It has been a luxury, but because you can get it on stuff like a Ford Fusion, or, I mean, everything has heated seats now. Heated and cooled seats. Heated seat, I'm using heated seats right now. Just an extra level of, pretty much, it's cold as heck outside, and I am nice and warm in here wearing my t-shirt. Cooled seats, excellent in the summer. It's the worst possible thing is getting in a car with a black leather interior that's been sitting in the sun and everything is a million degrees, or you're driving in an enthusiastic manner. Cooled seats make a massive difference. Now, execution-wise, they will vary in terms of effectiveness. Some heated seats are very weak, some are very strong. The ones in my Audi S4 I love. They get very, very warm. Some cooled seats, they call them ventilated seats. You might as well be like blowing up fan. I don't know, some of them are very, very weak. Downside of the cooled seats sometimes is you can hear the compressor going, which could be slightly irksome. But overall, heated cooled seats, if you can option that in your car, I would for sure go for that. In winter months, it's excellent. In the cold, I mean, sitting in a warm chair is way better than sitting in a cold chair. In the summer months, it'll get hot, and having cooled seats is great. No one wants to get out of the car with a sweaty butt and a sweaty back. This next one up is a combination of both a safety feature and a luxury convenience feature. Adaptive cruise control. Cruise control has been around on vehicles for a while. Pretty much the way it works is you turn it on, you select the speed, and the car maintains that speed regardless of if you're going through a curve, up or down hills, inclines. It is able to automatically compensate with throttle or brake, or not braking really. It just essentially speeds the car up to maintain that speed. Now, adaptive cruise control, with the advent of lots of radar and camera and all sorts of sensors on cars, vehicles now have the ability to speed up and slow down on their own. So essentially now you still set a speed for it to maintain, but also there is a second option of setting the distance you have, following distance. It can range between 3 to 4 settings. If you want to be really close to somebody, really far from somebody, usually if you're on a freeway, going faster, you want a following distance that's longer because you're going faster. It's relaxing on long drives. It's such a nice thing to trust the car and know that it won't hit the car in front of you. It'll follow the flow of traffic. You just set it, set your distance, set the speed, and just control steering. You're good. It's also really nice. Some cars are coming with traffic assist now, like stop and go traffic. You can bring the vehicle to a complete stop. It'll sit there and then it'll re-accelerate following the flow of traffic. That, I swear, every single time I'm in a car with that, traffic doesn't annoy me as much, because you just kind of sit there and let the car do its own thing. Maybe sometimes you have to intervene, press a button for the resume, but it definitely reduces the stress of driving. And not in a, I guess you can say it does make you a little bit lazy, but on a long road trip, adaptive cruise control is a great feature to have. The last feature is keyless entry and or push button start. Usually they're kind of bundled together. You can't get one without the other. But keyless entry, I mean, it's so convenient. Leave the key in your pocket, you walk up to the car knows you're approaching, you put your hand on the handle, it automatically unlocks for you, and you get in your car. And then natural next step is you just push the button, start the car up. No more fumbling for a key, inserting it, turning it. Not having to do with a key is great. You just leave it in your pocket, your purse, your backpack, whatever, your jacket, and you just get in the car, turn it on, go. Getting out of the car, press the button, turn it off, get out of the car, push the button on the door, car locks, you're good to go. Some really cool implementations of this. Some automakers allow their vehicles to sense you approaching the car. It will illuminate the car. The lights will turn on, the LED running lights. The mirrors will pull like a little welcome mat on the ground. It sort of adds, there's a little something extra that you're like, hey, the car knows I'm coming, it's getting ready, and you never had to take the key out, you didn't push a button. It's definitely a very cool feature. It sort of also ties in with remote start too. I mean, a lot of times if you have a keyless entry push button start, there is a electronic starter button, so you can just have remote start via the fob or sometimes with phones. So that is a great feature that allows you to warm the car up when it's cold outside or cool it down when it's hot outside. European cars very rarely offer it. I think it's due to the emission standards out there because it counts against them in the cycle. So one of our friends has a Dodge Ram and he has remote start, and he enjoys making fun of Parker because Parker's S-Class does not have remote start, and therefore he somehow thinks his Ram is way better than the S-Class because it has remote start. Either way, I foresee that cars in the future are all going to go to some sort of electronic button switch type starter. This Volvo actually is unconventional, where it's not a button, it's a little rotary, not rotary, it's a back and forth switch that toggles between stop and start, but it's the same function. You leave the key in your pocket, you never take it out, and you can access the features of the vehicle without dealing with the key. I definitely think that is a great option, and it deserves to be talked about on this list. Actually, kind of a funny story relating to that. I used to be a valet, and it was in high school, and that was when keyless entry first started to become a thing with push button start. And I used to remember the members to the country club would always forget to leave the key in their car, and they just walk away with the key in their purse or pocket, and then you park the car and turn it off and realize, oh shoot, I don't have the key, and then you try to find them because you can't start the car without the key fob in the vehicle itself. Great feature, a lot of automakers are implementing it. It is definitely cool to have. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other cool car options that your car has, that you know cars have, that I missed, that I didn't talk about, comment below. Let me know what you think should be on the list regarding the coolest new car features to have, the best options there. Like always, please follow the channel and subscribe. Check out our Instagram, we post a lot of cool stuff, and our Facebook at Vehicle Virgins. Look forward to seeing you next video.